Hare Krishna. Danut Pranam to all devotees. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Hari Hari Bol to everybody who led the chanting today. Starting with welcoming back Vishwanath Prabhu, Pawan Prabhuji, Ritesh Prabhu, Sangeeta Mataji, Aarti Mataji. Thank you all. Hari Hari Bol. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. Okay, anybody would like to recite our prayer today? Jiva Jago, Gaura Chanda Bole. Anybody else would like to?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, would you like to?
Prabhuji, I can try.
Yes, please. Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
जीव जागो, कोरा चांद बोले. जीव जागो, कोरा चांद बोले. कोट निद्र जाओ माया, पिशाचीर खोले. भजी भोलिया ऐसे संसार वितारे. बोलिया रोहिले तुमी अविद्यार भारे. तोमार लोइते एमु ओइनो अवतारा. आमी भीना बंधु हारा के आछे तोमारा. एनी छे अनुषधि माया नासी भर लागी. हरि नाम महामंत्र लाओ तुमी मागी. भगति विनोद प्रभु शरण परिया. सई हरि नाम मंत्र लोइलो मागिया. जीव जागो, कोरा चांद बोले. कोट निद्र जाओ माया, पिशाचीर कोले. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Aarti Mataji. Shri Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Aarti Mataji ki jai. Would you like to read the translation also?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, please, Mataji.
Translation. Lord Gauranga is calling. Wake up, sleeping souls. Wake up, sleeping souls. How long will you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? You have forgotten the way of devotional service and are lost in the world of birth and death. I have descended just to save you. Other than myself, you have no friend in this world. I have brought the medicines that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you are suffering. Take this Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I fall at the Lord's feet having taken this Mahamantra. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, when I try to wake my kids up now in the morning, so I sing this song. I just first line, both of them they want to sleep for long. So I wake them up singing this song.
Jai. Very nice. See, you're keeping Krishna in the center. While Krishna is in your center, in your home also. Krishna and Balram both are the center of your home. And you're waking them up with this. So nice. So do they wake up immediately or do they want to sleep further?
No, it's their summer vacation is going on, so they want to sleep for long. So
Mm.
when sometimes Balram wakes up early, so he tries to imitate me and wake his bhaiya up by singing this line.
Hare Krishna. Very nice. Thank you for sharing. Mm. Anything else you want to say?
Yes, Prabhuji. I like the fourth line, like where Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji is telling that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the only medicine in this world. If to with which you can you can wipe out the illusion Maya. I remember that line, heard from you only, that where there is Krishna, there is no illusion, there is no darkness. So, yes, we are diseased. So, if we want to cure, this medicine is the only way. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you. Yes, like we were saying yesterday, when we are away from Krishna, we are with the witch, with Maya, right? You just have to add S for Sham Sundar before this, or S for spiritual life, right? When you add S before the witch, it becomes switch. So that means we are turning on the switch, and where there is Krishna, there is no Maya. Where there is Krishna, there is no Andhakar. So that's what the role of Sri Guru in our lives is. They turn on the switch. That's why we say Om Ajnanatimirandasya, right? We were born in the darkness, well of darkness, and Sri Guru comes with the torchlight of knowledge, and with that torchlight, they turn on the switch in our lives, in our consciousness, and with that switch turned on, we are able to get into the light of Krishna. And that's Prabhupada says, where there is light, where there is Krishna, there is light, and this science is darkness. So that is how we go back to Godhead, by following Sri Guru's instructions. So yeah, so let's turn on that switch as we are in this final week of Purushottam Mass. So this is a very, very powerful prayer which reminds us of the basics of Krishna consciousness. Okay, thank you Mataji for reading. Let's quickly recite our chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, Yoga of the Supreme Person. Anybody would like to recite the verses alone today?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can do it.
Haribol, Anande Mataji, yes, please go ahead.
One second. Text 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhva Moolam Adashakam Asvatam Prahuravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastan Veda Saveda Ved. Text 2. Adhaschordvam prastastasya shakha guna pravritta vishaya pravata adhascha mulani anushantatani karmanubandhini manushya loke na rupamasyeha tatha palapyate nanto na chadir na cha sampratishta ashvattamenam suviruttamulam असङ्गशास्त्रेण दृढेन चित्वा तथा पदं तत् परिमार्गितव्यं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूय तम् एव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यथा प्रवृत्ति प्रसृता पुराणी. Text 5. निर्मनामोहाजितसङ्गदोषा आध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्तकामा द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता सुखदुःखसंज्ञे गच्छन्ति मूढा पदमव्ययं तत् न तद्भाषते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम मामैवंश जीवलोके जीवभूता सनातना मनःषष्ठानि इन्द्रियाणि प्राकृते स्थानि कर्षति शरीरं यदवाप्नोति यच्चापि उत्क्रमातीश्वरः गृहीत्वैतानि संयाति वायुर्गन्धान् इवास्ययात् श्रोतं चक्षुस्पर्शनं च रसनं ग्रहणम् एव च अधिष्ठाय मनश्चायं विषयान् उपासेवते उत्क्रमान्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जनं वा गुणावितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषा यतन्तो योगिनश्चैनं पश्यन्ति आत्मनि अवस्थितं यतन्तोऽपि अकृतात्मानो नैनं पश्यति चेतसः यद् आदित्यगतं तेजो जगद्भाष्यते अखिलं यच्चन्द्रांसि यच्चाग्नौ तच्चेजो विधि मामकम् गम् अविश्य च भूतानि धारयामि अहम् ओजसा पुष्णामि चौषधी सर्वा सोम भूत्वा रसात्मका अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहम् आश्रितं प्राणपानसमायुक्ता पचामि अन्नं चतुर्विधम् सर्वस्व चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृत् वेदविदेव चाहम् द्वाव इमौ पुरुषौ लोके क्षरश्चक्षर एव च क्षर सर्वाणि भूतानि कुटस्थो अक्षर उच्यते उत्तमा पुरुषस्त्वन्या परमात्मेति उदारता यो लोकात्रयम् आविश्य
Krishna Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna
विभर्ति अव्यय ईश्वर
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Prabhu, could you scroll to text 18?
Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
One
Ram
second,
Ram Ram Hare
sorry.
यस्माक्षरम् अतीतोऽहम् अक्षरात् विचोत्तम अतो
Krishna
लोके च प्रथिता पुरुषोत्तमा यो माम् एवम् असम्मूढो जानाति पुरुषोत्तमं स सर्वविद् भजति मां सर्वभावेन भारत Text 20 इति गुह्यतमं शास्त्रम् इदम् उक्तं मया नघ एतद् बुद्ध्वा बुद्धिमान् स्यात् कृतकृत्यश्च भारत Srimad Bhagavad Gita teaching. Yeah, would you like to say the last how we ended? I don't have it ready.
Yes, Mataji. Om Tat Sadati, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu, Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastri, Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, Purushottam Yoga Nama, Panchadashamodhyayaha.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Anandini Gopika Mataji. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I always remember when you recite Bhagavad Gita verses, how nicely you recite during the Gita
Prabhu,
Jayanti.
I faltered. Thank you for the opportunity. It's so nice.
Thank you. Okay, let's continue with Shri Krishna book reading. We are continuing on chapter 22. Yesterday we saw the pure, complete surrender, Sharanagati of the gopis, which is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exemplifies that this is the topmost devotion. And it is, like we said, it's not, Prabhupada explains, this is not like a mundane comparison of the material world, right? This is like the soul's complete surrender to the super soul. It's Krishna being the ultimate Purushottam, as we're saying, he is the ultimate Purush, and so he is the ultimate husband, right, of all the spirit souls. So Gopi surrender is like that pure, where we have to basically give up all our false coverings, of material pride, wealth, illusion, whatever we have in this world, right? When we surrender to Sri Guru, we are surrendering fully, right? Not as somebody like I'm a engineer or I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm so and so, right? In this world, right? When we surrender to Sri Guru, we are surrendering our complete self-surrender. So similarly here gopis did that. So that is what the mode was. And praying to the demigods also can be done if Krishna is the center of that. Actually Krishna is the goal of that surrender. So, okay, let's continue. Anybody else would like to read today? Alright, then let me continue. Okay, Lord Krishna was pleased with them, and since they all desired to have him as their husband, he told them, "My dear, well-behaved girls, I know of your desire for me and why you have worshipped goddess Katyayani, and I completely approve of your action. Anyone whose full consciousness is always absorbed in me, even if in lust, is elevated. As a fried seed cannot fructify, so any desire in connection with my loving service cannot produce any fruitive result as an ordinary karma." There is a statement in the Brahma Samhita, "Karmani nirdhati kintu cha bhakti bhajam." Everyone is bound by his fruitive activities, but the devotees, because they work completely for the satisfaction of the Lord, they suffer no reactions. Similarly, the gopis' attitude towards Krishna, although seemingly lusty, should not be considered to be like the lusty desires of ordinary women. The reason is explained by Krishna himself. Activities in devotional service to Krishna are all transcendental to any fruitive result. "My dear gopis," Krishna continued, "your desire to have me as your husband will be fulfilled because it is with this desire that you have worshipped goddess Katyayani. I promise you that during the next autumn season you shall be able to meet with me and you shall enjoy me as your husband." Later Krishna, in the company of his cowherd boyfriends, took shelter of the shade of some trees and became very happy. Thus he addressed the inhabitants of Vrindavan. "My dear Stoka Krishna, my dear Varuthapa, my dear Bhadrasena, my dear Sudama, my dear Subala, my dear Arjuna, my dear Vishala, my dear Rishabha, just look at these most fortunate trees of Vrindavan. They have dedicated their lives to the welfare of others. Individually, they are tolerating all kinds of natural disturbances such as hurricanes, torrents of rain, scorching heat and piercing cold, but they are very careful to relieve our fatigue and give us shelter. My dear friends, I think they are glorified in this birth as trees. They are so careful to give shelter to others that they are like noble, highly elevated charitable men who never deny charity to one who approaches them. No one is denied shelter by these trees. They supply various kinds of facilities to human society such as leaves, flowers, fruit, shade, roots, bark, flower extracts and fuel. They are the perfect example of noble life. They are like a noble person who has sacrificed everything possible, his body, mind, activities, intelligence and words for the welfare of all living entities. Thus the Supreme Personality of Godhead walked on the bank of the Yamuna, touching the leaves of the trees and their fruits, flowers and twigs and praising their glorious welfare activities. Different people may accept certain welfare activities to be beneficial for human society according to their own views, but the welfare activity that can be rendered to people in general for eternal benefit is the spreading of the Krishna consciousness movement. Everyone should be prepared to propagate this movement. As instructed by Lord Chaitanya, one should be humbler than the grass on the ground and more tolerant than the tree. The toleration of the tree is explained by Lord Krishna himself, and those who are engaged in the preaching of Krishna consciousness should learn lessons from the teachings of Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya through their direct disciplic succession. While passing through the forest of Vrindavan on the bank of the Yamuna, Krishna sat down at a beautiful spot and allowed the cows to drink the cold and transparent water of the Yamuna. Being fatigued, the cowherd boys, Krishna and Balaram, also drank. After seeing the young gopis bathe in the Yamuna, Krishna passed the rest of the morning with the boys. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 22nd chapter of Krishna, stealing the garments of the unmarried gopi girls. Hare Krishna. Chapter 23. Delivering the wives of the Brahmanas who performed sacrifices. The morning passed, and the cowherd boys were very hungry because they had not eaten breakfast. They immediately approached Krishna and Balaram and said, "Dear Krishna and Balaram, you are both all-powerful. You can kill many, many demons. But today we are much afflicted with hunger, and this is disturbing us. Please arrange for something that will mitigate our hunger." Requested in this way by their friends, Lord Krishna and Balaram arranged to show compassion to certain wives of Brahmanas who were performing sacrifices. These wives were great devotees of the Lord, and Krishna took this opportunity to bless them. He said, "My dear friends, please go to the house of the Brahmanas nearby. They are now engaged in performing the Vedic sacrifice known as Angi Rasa, for they desire elevation to the heavenly planets. All of you, please go to them." Then Lord Krishna warned his friends, "These Brahmanas are not Vaishnavas. They cannot even chant our names, Krishna and Balaram. They are very busy in the chanting the Vedic hymns, although the purpose of Vedic knowledge is to find me. But because they are not attracted by the names of Krishna and Balaram, you had better not ask them for anything in my name. Better ask for some charity in the name of Balaram." Charity is generally given to high-class Brahmanas, but Krishna and Balaram did not appear in a Brahmana family. Balaram was known as the son of Vasudev, a Kshatriya, and Krishna was known in Vrindavan as the son of Nanda Maharaj, who was a Vaishya. Neither belonged to the Brahmana community. Therefore, Krishna considered that the Brahmanas engaged in performing sacrifices might not be induced to give charity to a Kshatriya and Vaishya. But at least, if you utter the name of Balaram, they may prefer to give in charity to a Kshatriya rather than to me, because I am only a Vaishya. Being thus ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the boys went to the Brahmanas and began to ask for some charity. They approached them with folded hands and fell down on the ground to offer respect. "O earthly gods, kindly hear us, who are ordered by Lord Krishna and Balaram. We hope you know them both very well, and we wish you all good fortune. Krishna and Balaram are tending cows nearby, and we have accompanied them. We have come to ask for some food from you. You are all Brahmanas and knowers of religious principles, and if you think that you should give us charity, then give us some food, and we shall all eat along with Krishna and Balaram. You are the most respectable Brahmanas within the human society, and you are expected to know all the principles of religious procedure." Although the boys were village boys and were not expected to be learned in all the Vedic principles of religious ritual, they hinted that because of their association with Krishna and Balaram, they knew all those principles. By addressing the Brahmanas as knowers of all religious principles, the boys expressed the point of view that when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna and Balaram, were asking for food, the Brahmanas should immediately deliver some without hesitation, because, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, one should perform yajna or sacrifices only for the satisfaction of Vishnu. The boys continued, "Lord Vishnu, as Krishna and Balaram, is standing waiting, and you should immediately deliver whatever food you have in your stock." They also explained to the Brahmanas when food is to be accepted and when it is not to be accepted. Generally, the Vaishnavas or pure devotees of the Lord do not take part in ordinary sacrificial performances, but they know very well the ceremonials called Diksha, Pashu Samstha, and Shautramani. One is permitted to take food after the procedure of Diksha and before the animal sacrificial ceremony. Okay. Alright, so we are here. And before animal sacrificial ceremony and Shautramani or ceremony in which liquors are also offered. The boy said, "We can take your food at the present stage of your ceremony, for now it will not be prohibited. So you can deliver us the food." Although the companions of Lord Krishna and Balaram were simple cowherd boys, they were in a position to dictate even to the high-class Brahmanas engaged in the Vedic rituals of sacrifice. But the Smartha Brahmanas, who were simply sacrificial-minded, could not understand the dictation of the transcendental devotees of the Lord. They could not even appreciate the begging of the Supreme Lord Krishna and Balaram. Although they heard all the arguments on behalf of Krishna and Balaram, they did not care for them, and they refused to speak to the boys. Despite being highly elevated in the knowledge of Vedic sacrificial rites, all such non-devotee Brahmanas, although they think of themselves as very highly elevated, are ignorant, foolish persons. All their activities are childish because they do not know the purpose of the Vedas, as it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita, which is to understand Krishna. In spite of their advancement in Vedic knowledge and rituals, they do not understand Krishna. Therefore, their knowledge of the Vedas is useless. Lord Chaitanya therefore says, he gave his valuable opinion that although a person may not be born in a Brahmana family, if he knows Krishna or the science of Krishna consciousness, he is more than a Brahmana and he is quite fit to become a spiritual master. There are various details to be observed in the performance of sacrifices. They are known as Desha or place, Kala or time, Prithak Drivya, the different detailed paraphernalia, Mantra or the hymns, Tantra, the scriptural evidences, Agni or fire, Ritvik, learned performers of sacrifices, Devata, the demigods, Yajamana, the performer of the sacrifices, Kritu, the sacrifice itself, and Dharma, the procedures. All these are for satisfying Krishna. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that he is the actual enjoyer of all sacrifices because he is directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Supreme Absolute Truth, beyond the conception or speculation of the material senses. He is present just like an ordinary human boy. But for persons who identify themselves with the body, it is very difficult to understand him. The Brahmanas, very much interested in the comforts of the material body and in elevation to the higher planetary residences called Swargavas, they were therefore completely unable to understand the position of Krishna. When the boys saw that the Brahmanas would not reply to them even with a simple yes or no, they became very much disappointed. They then returned to Lord Krishna and Balaram and explained everything that had happened. After hearing their statements, the Supreme Personality of Godhead smiled. He told them that they should not be sorry for being refused by the Brahmanas, because that is the way of begging. He convinced them that one who is engaged in collecting or begging should not think that he will be successful everywhere. He may be unsuccessful in some places, but that should not be cause for disappointment. Lord Krishna then asked all the boys to go again, but this time to the wives of those Brahmanas engaged in sacrifices. He also informed them that these wives were great devotees. They are always absorbed in thinking of us. Go there and ask for some food in my name and the name of Balaram, and I am sure that they will deliver you as much food as you desire. Hare Krishna. Alright, let's pause on desire. And that is our only desire, to be always absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. That is the only desire that we need to cultivate. We think we are very advanced. Again, you all know, even scientifically, looking at all the videos from NASA and all the space agencies, how tiny, insignificant the whole planet Earth is, and then imagine how tiny, insignificant we are on this one planet in this unlimited cosmos. So the only thing that we have is really our free will, our desire, and how we dovetail the desire towards Krishna. And that is what Krishna is teaching us here, that through this pastime. And before this, actually, the last chapter, as we were concluding that, I was remembering as Krishna was touching those beautiful trees in Vrindavan. And the other day, maybe it was a few weeks ago, I was reading somewhere, and Prabhupada was saying that, sometimes we think that the impersonalists will fall down, right? I mean, those who are like jnana yogis who are merging into the effulgence of the Lord. But sometimes it was also mentioned somewhere, I forget where I was reading it, but Prabhupada was mentioning sometimes, those impersonalists get a chance to take birth in the spiritual world as trees, right? So yeah, but the point that I was trying to make was that I was remembering the past time where, if you remember when we were reading Prabhupada Leelamrit, Prabhupada was taking a walk in Bhaktivedanta Manor, and as he was going around, he was looking at those trees and he was touching the trees, and this was just before he was departing from London. So I was just remembering how, yes, Krishna, what Krishna does, his pure devotees do the same thing. So yeah, Prabhupada was blessing all those trees that were standing, maybe for many hundreds of years in Bhaktivedanta Manor fields. So yeah, Krishna is blessing these trees, and of course trees, as we know in Vrindavan, these are not just impersonal, but they are also great devotees of the Lord, sages who have performed tapasya for a long time, and eventually they have taken birth in the form of trees to serve the Lord, serve his devotees. Just as we were reading Govardhan Hill, he was serving, because more than serving the Lord, it is to serve his pure devotees. Was it yesterday or day before, I was hearing a katha, Hari Katha, where Bhakti Ashram Maharaj was talking about how, like Kabir, he was very sad one day. So somebody asked him, so why are you sad? So he says, Kabira, I was trying to remember what exactly it was that, but he said that Kabira de roy, Ram Kabir, something like that. I forget the exact words, but it was something like he was saying that Kabira is crying because he has got bulava from Lord Ram. So then people were asking, so why are you crying? That is very good, Lord is calling you. So why are you crying? Then he says, well, because while it is good that Lord is calling me to Saket Dham, Ram Bhagwan mujhe bula rahe hain, lekin if I go there, then I will miss this association of the devotees. This is why, because in Lord's presence, Lord, of course, in the mode of humility, he will not glorify himself, right? But the opportunity to glorify the Lord in the association of the devotees is the most important opportunity that we can get in our lives. So he doesn't want to leave the association of the devotees to go to God, to go to the Lord, right? So similarly, like Govardhan Hill and all the pure devotees, they take the opportunity to serve the pure devotees of the Lord versus serving the Lord directly, and that pleases the Lord. That pleases the Lord more, right? So we should take that important learning that by serving our Guru Parampara, by serving Sri Guru, by serving Srila Prabhupada and predecessor Acharyas, we are directly pleasing Sri Krishna. So that should be our mood as well. And then here, as we see, of course, between the difference between the Brahmanas and the Brahmana Patnis, same thing, right? They are more engrossed in the spiritual or the ritual sacrifices, yagyas, without understanding the whole purpose. That the purpose of doing all these rituals is to actually become spiritual. But if we just get stuck at being ritualistic, then we may not become spiritualistic. So yeah, the difference between Brahmanas and the Brahmana Patnis is that they are trying to do these sacrifices for their own personal benefit of going to the higher planetary systems of Sargaloka. So this is more like Vaidhi Bhakti. Sometimes we may get stuck with while we have to start with Vaidhi Bhakti, but we have to understand the purpose of what we are doing, and why we are doing that. Versus the Brahmana Patnis, they are in the state of Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous love for the Lord. And it is simple, right? So Krishna, as we have heard again and again from Srila Prabhupada, Krishna is not attracted. He is the all-attractive. And if we have to attract the all-attractive, we have to be simple, like Rose says, simple living and high thinking, right? We have to be simple in our etiquette, in our behavior. Bhakti is very simple for those who want to do it, and it can be very complicated for those who want to make it complex. So a simple heart, is what attracts Krishna. The all-attractive is attracted by the simplicity of our bhakti, right? So it doesn't matter whether we have name, fame, riches, right? Kanchan, Kamini, Kirti. That's why Mahaprabhu says, Nathanam, Najanam, no Sundarim. I don't want anything. No wealth, no followers, no pride and prestige. But I only want your haituki, your unconditional devotional service, life after life. And we see so many examples, right? Be it the Dukhi in the Chaitanya Leela, be it Shabari in the Rama Leela, so many. It's Sudama and Krishna Leela, all these wonderful devotees of the Lord. They had nothing with them, just only pure love for the Lord. And that is what these Brahmana Patnis also have. So, okay. All right, I think I'll pause here. Anything else? Any other reflections? Any comments from today's reading?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, yes.
That कबीरा दोहा is चलती चक्की देख कर दिया कबीरा रोए दुई पाटन के बीच में साबुत बचाना कोई. So that is the one that we are like the grains of wheat, and dui patan are the two what is that, stone grinding, and those two stones represent earth and sky, and we are right in the middle, and we are in the middle of the chakki piecing and piecing and piecing, and we don't realize that we think we are enjoying, but actually we are getting grinded. We are trapped in the duality. Everything is perishable and we think it's eternal, so we need to get out of that mode. So that was one of the kabira dohas for chakki, for the de kabira roy. And there was one more, actually. I think I do have that one. रंगी को नारंगी कहे बने दूध को खोया चलती को गाड़ी कहे देख कबीरा रोया. That we call anything orange colored narangi means, and doodh, when milk is solidified, it's called khoya, which literally means khoya means lost.
Hmm.
uh, and anything that's movable, we call it gadi or stuck. But vehicle, gadi means literally means stuck or dug around the ground. And that's why Kabira is weeping, seeing the lack of the logic and irony of our language. So just a little
Okay.
footnote. Thank you,
Thank
Praveenji.
you for sharing that. Yes. Maharaj only said 2-3 lines, I think, yeah, but it was different. But yeah, the essence was exactly what you said. That yes, and that is what I think I was talking about it yesterday also, and I think I was listening to Hari Parshad Prabhu the other day, and he was mentioning this as the ultimate goal. Of course, pure Vaishnava. We all have some itcha, of course, like we all want to go back to Krishna. We want to be with the Lord, and his devotees there. But ultimately, pure Vaishnava or Vaishnava just doesn't even want to be with the Lord. He just wants to please the Lord, right? And that means whatever the Lord wants, we want to do, right? Not for our own benefit. We are not looking for liberation, or not looking to even go back to Godhead. If Krishna wants us to be here and just serve, then that is the mood of ultimate of pure devotees. So that is that is kind of the pinnacle, the zenith. Right now we are all looking. At least I am looking for my own personal benefit of when we say going back to our Godhead. And of course, devotees always come back and say, like Hari Parshad was saying that Prabhupada himself started the magazine Back to Godhead. So why are we saying that going back to Godhead is not the ultimate, right? So again, it's how we perceive it. But yeah, in the beginning stages, yes, we are, at least if that is our why, that yes, I need to go back to Godhead, that's okay. That is our why. But as we progress, we start realizing this, like the sentiment of the gopis, where they didn't want anything for themselves as long as they were just able to please Krishna. So if Krishna is pleased by us being in this world, by being here and serving in whatever limited capacity that we have, if that pleases Krishna, that pleases Sri Guru, then that is what we have to do. So that is the ultimate realization that we should have, that it is not for us, it is not for me, right? So that main or aham, that is what we have to give up. I was also hearing the other day, I was hearing one thing about how we say in different yugas the asuras and the devatas were on the different planets and etc. Similarly, the names of the asuras also, like Hiranyaksh in Satyuga, it was big names, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh, 4 letters almost. Then in Treta it became Ravana, 3. Then in Dwapar with Krishna Lila it became Kansa, right, 2. And now in Kali Yuga it is just one demon remaining, and that is May, right? So that aham, that I am this, I am that, I am doer, etc. So that is our biggest problem that we need to give up. That is the biggest asura that remains in Kali Yuga. Okay, alright, let's pause here unless there are any other comments or reflections. And as I mentioned yesterday, I will be out starting tomorrow, actually today. So I think Meenu Mataji and Adiguru Prabhu, Jari Prabhu, between the 3 of them, and Vishwanath Prabhu, of course, with the japa. Hopefully you all can carry on this seva for a 1 month, and then before I return back in July. So with that, let's pause here and continue to Anandini Gopika Mataji, you're also there, you're joining whenever it's possible. I know it's the scheduling is always a challenge for doctors. so whenever it's possible, you all can coordinate and take it forward, and also continue these remembrances of the Lord through Bhagavad Gita. So yesterday I was remembering while lifting all my suitcases, packing all the packing that is done by Meenakshi Mohini and the kids. I'm only a servant to carry those suitcases, but I was remembering giving the strength of carrying those suitcases is coming from Sri Krishna as Balam Balvatam Chaham. Okay, thank you so much. Let's pause here. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णवृंद की जय। जगत गुरु प्रभुपाद की जय। श्री कृष्णा द सुप्रीम पर्सनालिटी ऑफ गॉडहेड की जय। पुरुषोत्तम अधिक मास की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण
Have a
प्रभु।
very
Thank you,
peaceful trip,
Krishna.
Prabhu.
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Ramji.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Happy journey, Prabhu.
Have a nice journey प्रभु
Have a
जी।
blissful journey. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you, Mataji.
Happy Krishna consciousness journey.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।